Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here. And in today's video, going to be talking through a couple of my favorite plays on Prizepicks for today, for Friday, May the 27th. We do have Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals on Friday night. Celtics up 3-2 in this series with a chance to close things out at home, punch their ticket to the NBA Finals where they will ultimately play the Warriors. I'm recording this video on Thursday night after that game ended, the Warriors-Mavs game. Warriors came out on top. Going to be in the NBA Finals, and we'll have to see who comes out on top in this series. This is Game 6. The Celtics are up 3-2, so obviously if they win, they'll be in the Finals. If the Celtics lose tonight and the Heat win, then we will have a Game 7 in Miami on Sunday night. So it's kind of to be determined, to see who comes out on top in this series. It could be the Celtics if they, close things out tonight. But I'm hoping we get a good game. This series has definitely been a frustrating one to bet on. I will say that. There's been a lot of blowouts in this series. I want to say, I want to say 4 of the 5 games already have been blowouts. And even kind of last game was a little bit of a blowout too. This is definitely, this has been a frustrating series to bet on. There's been a lot of injury concerns too. Clearly some guys aren't fully healthy right now, and we'll kind of talk about that when we get there. But I got a few player props I like. I did find 3 plays that I liked at first look, taking a first look on the board at the board on Thursday night. Will say that right now there's not a ton of props up, as you can see. They only have props up for 7 guys. So there wasn't a ton of options, but I still did find 3 props that I liked that we will share in this video. So before we get started, guys, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button as well if you are new here. If you're new to Prizepicks, you have not checked out Prizepicks, you can sign up with my promo code Noah. Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. If you don't play on Prizepicks yet, maybe if you bet player props on a different sports book, a different DFS site, and you want to give Prizepicks a try, sign up with that code, get that deposit bonus when you do sign up. And real quick, we can recap Thursday's plays. And Thursday wasn't a terrible day. We didn't get a clean sweep Thursday, sadly, but we went 2-1. We did hit the over 16.5 points for Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins finished with 18 points. I think he scored his 18th point with I want to say 4 or 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So it wasn't too much of a sweat there with Wiggins. I think he had 8 points at halftime. So he came through for us. We had under 8 assists for Luka Doncic, and Luka only finished with 6 assists. And I felt really good about that play, especially with how much Luka has had to really carry on this heavy offensive role, and that was something that I talked about in Thursday's video. Luka's not really facilitating a ton. He's having to shoot the ball a ton, and that's kind of what happened, in Thursday's game. He just had to take a ton of shots. I know late in that game, especially in the second half, Luka really wasn't looking to pass much at all. He was just kind of trying to score, and he only finished with 6 assists, so he went under, so we got that pick right. The one pick, though, that we missed was under 6.5 assists for Steph Curry. And honestly, I don't regret the play at all. Steph Curry, his assist prop actually moved down to 5.5, which is what I thought the line would or should have been. I thought getting 6.5 was just too high. I thought there was a really good chance Steph would finish with 6 assists or less. So I felt really good about the under. And Steph just came out and just was dropping dimes. I mean, he literally had 7 assists by halftime. I think there's 4 minutes left in the second quarter, and Steph already had 7 assists. So we lost that pick before halftime. I mean, crazy for Steph to have 7 assists, before halftime. He finished with only 9 assists though, which is just funny. Had 7 at halftime, and then only got 2 assists in the second half. But we went 2-1 on Thursday, so it wasn't a terrible day. Hopefully, you guys, maybe if you did a flex play, maybe if you mixed and matched the plays, maybe if you bet player props on a sports book and you were able to straight bet the props, hopefully you at least made a little bit of money. But we'll talk through the 3 plays I like for today. So we'll start off in the PRA category. I got 2 PRA props I like, and then I have an assist prop that I like. So for PRA, we're going to go to a guy that I've bet on a lot in the postseason. So far in the series, I haven't been betting on him a ton. I was on his PRA last game, and he came up short. But man, this line just looks too good. I mean, 32.5 PRA for Jimmy Butler. I really like the over here. I know Jimmy Butler has not been playing well lately, and this is something that I think is a little bit of a concern. We don't really know Jimmy Butler's health, and kind of what I was talking about earlier. There's a lot of guys that are banged up in this series. Right now, Jimmy Butler's banged up. Marcus Smart's banged up. Robert Williams is banged up. There's some other guys on Miami like Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker. They're questionable for pretty much every game. I want to say there's been 5 or 6, maybe 7 guys listed as questionable for these games every single day. Pretty much all of them I expect to play. Are we getting a fully 100% Jimmy Butler here? Maybe not. But I think this line is kind of baking that in. It's not like Jimmy Butler's PRA prop is 37.5, 38.5, which is what it's been kind of the whole playoffs. It's come way down just because he's had a few poor games. But I like the over here. I mean, this is a game 6, win or go home. Obviously, if Miami loses tonight, their season's over. I expect Jimmy Butler to play like 40-plus minutes. We know Jimmy Butler can handle a massive workload. We know in the playoffs he's been playing huge minutes every night. And so far in the series, he's only gone over this PRA prop in 2 games. That was obviously the first 2 games in the series. Last 3 games have been pretty brutal for Jimmy. Game 3, he got injured, only played the first half. He had played 20 minutes. Game 4 was a massive blowout. He barely played in the second half, only played 27 minutes. Last game, he did play his full minutes. He played 40 minutes. But worth noting that he shot the ball terribly last game. He shot 4 for 18, 22% from the field, which is one of his worst shooting games he's had all postseason. Could that be due to Boston's defense? Could that be due to Jimmy Butler maybe not being 100% right now? It's definitely possible. But I'm going to take the risk of just, assuming that Jimmy Butler's going to be close to 100% here. He's going to play 40, 42 minutes. I mean, he's going to do everything he can to will the Heat to a victory here. I know Boston's defense is good, but I still think Jimmy Butler's going to have a massive role. I think he's going to play huge minutes. And I like his chances of getting 33 PRA. I mean, so far in the postseason, he's gone over this PRA prop in a lot of games. Like, I think there's only been maybe 2 or 3 games where he's not gone over this. Game 1 against Atlanta, he finished with, 30 PRA, came up just short. Also, he didn't play much in the fourth quarter, 33 minutes, didn't play his full minutes that game. Game 1 against Philly, he only had 27 PRA, also, 30 minutes, which is, not the normal for Jimmy. I think he normally plays 40, 42 minutes. That might have been a blowout as well. And then obviously the last 3 games against Boston, he's not hit, but again, got injured in this game, massive blowout in game 4, and then last game he just shot god-awful. So I think if we get full minutes from Jimmy, as long as he can have a decent shooting game, I like his chance of going over this PRA prop. We know he's going to shoot the ball a ton. He's going to get rebounds. He's been rebounding really well in the playoffs. He's probably good to get at least 3-4 assists. I think PRA looks the best. If you wanted to go over on his points prop, I don't hate that either, but I'm expecting Jimmy to just have a massive role, and if Jimmy comes out here and plays terrible and the Heat get blown out, then so be it. But I think Miami, they have to do whatever they can to win this game. That means probably playing Jimmy Butler 43, 44 minutes if that's what it takes. And hopefully Jimmy's fully healed for this game. He's not been on their injury report lately, which is kind of crazy. Like, clearly he might not be 100%, but they're not even listing him questionable. So I think he's kind of toughing it out right now. But yeah, I like this line. I think this line is too low, and I'm going to bank on Jimmy having just kind of a decent game tonight. And if he does, he's probably going over this 33.5 or 32.5 PRA line. So that's the first prop I like for today. And then the second prop, again, it's going to be another PRA prop. Like this one quite a bit, over 20.5 PRA from Marcus Smart. So Marcus Smart, very similar to Jimmy Butler. Might be a little bit banged up right now, kind of been toughing it out, fighting through injury. Last game, obviously went under this PRA prop. He only finished with 14 points, rebound, assists. Every other game before that, though, he had gone over and had gone way over this PRA line. But let's take a look at what happened last game. So Marcus Smart, obviously started the game, played 4 minutes because he picked up 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes of the game and subbed out. So Marcus Smart pretty much did not play his normal rotation in the first quarter. He lost out on a lot of minutes because he picked up 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes. And then he subbed back in, and he almost played the entire second quarter. He played basically until there was 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Pretty much, got about, what is that, 14, 15 first half minutes. So he was basically, even with the foul trouble, he was on pace to play 30 minutes with foul trouble. And then in the second half, Marcus Smart played about 9 minutes in the third quarter. Worth noting, he did pick up 2 more fouls. They didn't sub him out, though, for those fouls, so I don't know if the foul trouble was too much of an issue in the second half. He played about 9 minutes in the third quarter, but then he barely played in the fourth quarter. He subbed in with literally 3 minutes left. He played 2 minutes, and that was it. They went with kind of Derek White in the second half. Derek White pretty much played a lot of the minutes that Smart would have been getting. Does that happen again tonight? I don't know. I mean, Derek White kind of was hot last game, and obviously Smart being in foul trouble kind of helped Derek White to get more minutes. I think if you kind of reverse those and, Marcus Smart plays 30, 32 minutes and Derek White plays, the 23, 24 minutes that Smart did, which is usually what happens, I like Marcus Smart's chances of going over this 20.5 PRA line. I mean, you can take a look at so far in the playoffs. He's gone over this line in almost a lot of games. I mean, pretty much the only games he's gone under have been these, few games where, against Miami, obviously last game had 5 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Against Milwaukee, a game where he played 29 minutes. I think that was his first game back from injury. He only had 9, 2, and 2 that game, so that was a pretty disappointing game. Against Milwaukee, he had played 33 minutes, had 10, 1, and 7, so he went just under. And I think just about every other game. I mean, there's a couple of these games, he had 12, 1, and 5. But, I mean, 16-4-7, 18-2-8, 27-6, 25-11. This line is definitely too low for Marcus Smart. Like, I think Marcus Smart's PRA line for most of the playoffs has been 24.5, 25.5. And just because he got into some early foul trouble last game and he saw his minutes cut, his PRA line got bumped way down. Now, again, Marcus Smart is kind of dealing with an injury right now, which might be a slight concern. But I think he would have played more than 24 minutes last game had he not gotten into that early foul trouble. I think that early foul trouble just kind of threw off his normal rotation. And, Derek White also got hot off the bench. Do they close with Derek White over Marcus Smart? Like, I don't think so. Like, I think most nights Marcus Smart is going to be in the closing lineup. Most nights Marcus Smart's playing over 30 minutes. And he's, been a productive player when he gets minutes. He can score. He can knock down threes. He's been grabbing a lot of rebounds. We obviously know Smart can get assists as well. I just think this line is too low. I think this line should be 23.5, 24.5. If Smart plays his normal minutes tonight, which I think he will, he should go over this line pretty easily. So those are two PRA props I really like for today. And then the third one, an assist prop I like. Going to be taking over 2.5 assists for Jaylen Brown. So this is one that I did bet pretty recently. It might have been like 2 or 3 games ago, and Jaylen Brown went under. He only finished with 2 assists. I think it was game 4 of the series. He finished with 2 assists. But you can take a look at so far in the postseason. Jaylen Brown has been getting 3 or more assists in a lot of playoff games. And that's one of the reasons I like getting this line at 2.5, is because there have been a lot of games this season in the playoffs where Brown has finished with 3 assists. It looks like there's been 4 playoff games where he's finished with 3 assists. So if this line was at 3, I wouldn't like it as much just because I think there's a likelihood that it pushes. But getting it at 2.5 is appealing to me. And right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, there's some pretty heavy juice coming in on the over 2.5 assists for Jaylen Brown. Right now, that is minus 150 on DraftKings Sportsbook. And you look at Jaylen Brown so far in the postseason, he's gotten at least 3 assists and what is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 out of 16 playoff games? Yeah, 11 out of 16 playoff games so far, he's gotten at least 3 assists. And then obviously he had some games, he had 2 assists one game, but also only played 29 minutes that game. Normally, Jaylen Brown plays like 40, 42 minutes. So if he gets his normal 40, 42 minutes, does he grab an additional assist in that game? It's definitely possible. And obviously, last 2 games against Miami, or 2 of the 3 games they played, 1 assist. But he's been, getting decent potentials. You can actually look so far in the playoffs. He's got the third third most potential assists per game on the team. Jason Tatum, is averaging 11.8 potential assists per game in the postseason. Marcus Smart, 10.9 potential assists. And then Jaylen Brown averaging 6.7 potential assists per game. He's averaging over 3 assists per game in the postseason. Last game, Jaylen Brown had 5 potential assists, kind of got unlucky, only converting 1 of those. Normally if he gets 5 potential assists, he's probably going to get at least 2, maybe 3 assists. We know Jaylen Brown is a very high usage player. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. He is kind of a guy that does look to score. Like, normally when Jaylen Brown gets the ball, he's looking to shoot. But he can facilitate, and he's just going to play so many minutes, he can kind of just fall into 3 assists. Again, I think with this line being at 2.5, it does look appealing to me. Just because I think there's a good chance that Jaylen Brown finishes with 3 assists. If he finishes with 3 assists, obviously he goes over. If this line goes up to 3, then I don't like it as much because I think if Brown finishes with 3 assists, then you're just kind of playing for a push. But getting it at 2.5 is appealing. A lot of juice coming in on the over for this one on DraftKings Sportsbook, and I like it on Prizepicks. I mean, obviously, if you play on Prizepicks, we don't have to worry about juice. We can bet these heavily juiced props on Prizepicks, not get penalized for that, because on Prizepicks, it's a fixed payout. No matter what props you take, you're getting the same payout regardless. Obviously, if you parlay 3 picks together, that pays out 5x. If you do flex play, which means even if you get a pick wrong, you can still get 1.25x. You can still get 2.25x if you go 3 for 3 on a 3-pick flex play. So Prizepicks is a little bit different than your normal sports books, which is one of the reasons I recommend you guys try out Prizepicks. Again, if you want to try them out, you can sign up with that promo code NOAH, and Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. But these are 3 plays I like for Friday night's game, and hopefully we get a close game tonight. Obviously, this series it's been really tough to bet on because there have been a lot of blowouts in this series. But again, like Game 6 with the Heat, being win or go home, I think we get a close game tonight, and I'm hoping that if we do and all our guys play their full minutes, they can go over these lines. And again, I think these lines are a little bit too low, especially those PRA lines. I like both those PRA props. I know Butler and Smart are kind of banged up right now, but these lines are definitely, even if they are banged up a little bit, these lines are too low in my opinion. So that's what I'm liking for for Friday night's game. I wish you guys the best of luck tonight. If you're tailing these picks, if you're making some picks for yourself, wish you guys the best of luck. Make sure you hit that like button before you get out of here. As always, guys, appreciate all the likes you guys give me. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Again, you can check out Prizepicks. You can sign up with promo code NOAH, and Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. But yeah, good luck tonight, guys. Thanks for watching the video. As always, I do want to mention one more thing. So obviously after tonight, we will have to wait and see if we get a Game 7 for this game. Because obviously if Miami wins, that would force a Game 7, which would be on Sunday. If the Celtics win, then the series is over. Worth noting, though, that the finals does not start until Thursday of next week on June the 2nd. So if Boston wins tonight, we will have no more NBA games until Thursday when the finals start. So I think next week and maybe even this weekend, I'm going to start making some MLB videos just for the days that we don't have NBA. And even when the final starts, the games are only going to be like every other day. So I think moving forward on the days where we don't have any NBA games, I will be covering MLB. So be on the lookout for some MLB videos, talking through some MLB props I like each day. And obviously on the days where we have NBA games, I will be covering the playoff games, the finals games. And then if we have a Game 7 for this series, I'll cover that on Sunday. But yeah, good luck tonight, guys. Thanks for watching the video. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and again, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.